Formula 1 Esports as we get underway for Tier 3 Pacific League Racing Season 3 Round 1 at the Australian Grand Prix. So while we wait to get ready, it's 10 seconds until we head into the short 18-minute qualifying session, followed by a 50%, that is a 29-lap race distance, as we get ready to go racing. So, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Finn Kelly. I am a driver and also a commentator for Race Spec Formula 1 Esports. I drive in Pacific Tier 3. I just had my race about 5 minutes ago, so I just finished racing around here. But I've jumped in onto the qualifying seat and getting all ready to go. So just let me know if you can hear me. Yep, I think I'm getting pretty good feedback. So, here we are in the beautiful Melbourne. Looks like we have dry weather, which will be very good. Very happy to see that. Now, grid rundown for you. Who have we got? We've got Reedy, number 98, in Valtteri Bottas' 77 car for Melbourne. We have El Tonki, number 44, in Lewis Hamilton's car, followed by the Mash Britato, in, I think that's Sebastian Vettel's car. We've got D-Bros in the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. So we get ready for cars to come out on track. And I'll just pop up all the telemetry things. In the Red Bulls, we have delayed laid, as we nearly have a little incident in the pit lane there. In the other Red Bull, we have CN Goat. In the Renault, we have James Cruz and False Equation. In the McLaren, we have Ken Temmer and CB Racing Chris. In the AlphaTauri, we have VW Ebby, or Webby. In the other AlphaTauri, we have WA Hudshins. Sorry if I'm also butchering these names. In the Haas, we have Big Match Johnny. With his teammates of, I think it's Al Cornwell, or Le Cornwell, or something along those lines. But that should be our grid. Oh, I've nearly forgot the Alfa Romeos. We have Formula SK8, and in the other Alfa Romeo, we have, I think it's the Mash Barreto, who I've said was in Ferrari, but Sugar Freaks is actually in Ferrari. My mistake there. And then finally in the Williams we have Blackso 2011 Blackso, I think that's right. But anyway, let's jump straight into qualifying. We've got cars coming out on their outlaps. This is James Cruz in the Renault on the medium tires. God, does that car look fabulous. Looking very nice on those medium tires. Let's jump on board for a hot lap with him. Coming down to turn 1, you want to brake just after the 100-meter board marker. Hits the apex beautifully, takes right amount of curb there. Good exit curb as well, opens up that DRS. Coming down now to turn 3, braking at that black box. All the way down the gears, usually into second. Can use third if you're saving the tyres. Great short shift from James. Turn 4 now, late apex. Looks like he seemed to take sector 3 with a yellow flag. As coming through turn 6 now, he's doing a great job. Turn 7, braking just where the Armco barrier sticks out. Then not taking too much curb, which is actually quite impressive. Must have a very stiff anti-roll bar to get the car pointed in the right way. Turn 9 now, braking down third gear. Perfect amount of curb there. Exit curb was not fantastic, but he keeps pushing. Coming round the big long turn 10, up into turn 11 now, braking just where the lines end. Apex, bang. Turn 11, apex once again. Beautiful. Open up that DRS. Full deployment of the DRS now. braking just after the 100-meter board now, around 75-meter board, lock up on the inside right. There we go, turning in now quite sharply, hits the apex beautifully at turn 14, braking at the black flag marker for turn 15. Turn 16 now, short shifting between 4th and 5th, open that DRS, fly it down to turn 1. What type of lap time will this be? It's a 1:23. False equation his teammate, setting the pace so far in Daniel Ricciardo's Renault of a 1:21. As anyone else on a lap, looks like this Alpha might be on a lap. Maybe, yes, I'd say he is, as we jump on board once again. Turn 11 and 12. Looking absolutely fantastic. Yellow flags. Oh, getting the back end nice and loose. Someone's off the front wing. It's the Red Bull of, I believe that was Cian Goat. Yeah, he's had a bit of an error there, and usually the car can get very, very bouncy if you're running quite a stiff suspension, running over the exit curbs. So it's surprising to see him not actually out, but of course those brakes overheating, struggling to get the car turned in, probably the tyres overheating a lot, as he's running actually quite a nice helmet. I like the type of helmet. That's the only customization we can do in multiplayer, is the helmet. Fortunately, you don't get to run your own number on the cars this year. So he comes into the pits to get some of that on. Looks like also we have the McLaren in the wall as well, but we're not going to focus on people in the wall just yet. We have L. Cornwell in currently in 14th on the super softs. He's still trying to set his pace. Looks like he's really struggling to get that car turned in. As we now exit out, here we go down to turn 1. Looks like he's using quite a lot of ERS there. What's he gone? A 140. Hopefully that's just his out lap, but maybe he has had a mistake there. Yep, cutting turn 1 for good luck as well. Ken's going to need to set a lap pretty quickly as well. Who else is going to set a lap? I think we should run on board with the Red Bull, and I'm going to let you guys have a little listen to how beautiful this Honda engine sounds. So now jumping back on board with the Red Bull. How cool does that Honda engine sound? Yellow flags. It's sector 2. He's going to back off there. If in doubt there was an issue, now back to green flag racing. I believe this is for either a Williams or a Haas. It looks like a Williams at this stage, going slowly. Doesn't look like he has too much damage on that car. 11 minutes to go in qualifying though. Drivers will start to be thinking about what's the optimal strategy. Should I go onto a set of mediums? Should I have, you know, something to play with? Is there going to be rain in the race? Of course, I don't know that just yet. Or should I start focusing on conserving the tyres, locking up that differential a bit, trying to save those rear tyres? But taking a look on Charles Leclerc's 16 Ferrari of Debro's 88 as he comes through turn 6, getting a bit of a tow from the McLaren, who I think is on his out lap. He sets a purple first sector, so he's really going for it here. It's his first lap out here in Melbourne as he gets ready to absolutely send it. There you go, perfect rotation of the car there, really getting down the power efficiently and getting that car just all hooked up. That's what Melbourne's about, is finding that setup and finding that balance and hitting those apex. Really, that's what any racetrack's around, and he is around, and Debros is out. That's the front right tyre. Boy, I hope the driver's okay, but that's right into the barriers. That's not good. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough, as his teammate's going to come through now and see that there's a stricken car. He's going to definitely back off there. But the driver, yeah, really struggling to get that power down. Once like it said, turn 12 is such a difficult corner, whether it's feathering the throttle, balancing the car, taking much, having the biggest balls to go through there. That's what Melbourne's about. That's what Albert Park is about, is getting all 16 corners around here bang on to get that lap. And that's what False Equation 61 has done so far right now with a 121.7. And so he puts on a new set of the soft compound tyres in the pits and gets ready to go. Now, of course, on board with Sugar Freaks, who else to set an absolutely blistering lap time than this guy? I think he's backed off though. I'm not sure just yet. We'll wait to see as we go to the external camera. Sebastian Vettel's car coming through turn 6. Look at that, as flat as cornering as you'll ever see in a race car. These Formula 1 cars are so stiff, so on point, as Mortney 5 goes to pole position. Wow, that's an impressive lap time by the Racing Point car of number, I think that's number 11. I think that's, nope, that's Lance Stroll's car. Look at that helmet though, looking absolutely beautiful. As False Equations come out of the pits now with 8 minutes to go to try and tackle what Mortney's just said. Now his teammate in front of him of DBTAU on the mediums, is he going to try and go for an alternate strategy? Is he going to try and go for something a little bit different, a little bit weird to his teammate? He's in P8, he's in the points on a set of the mediums. That's where you want to be. That's an optimum strategy right there. Mediums to hards, or might even extend the mediums out to the softs. You never know with the pace of these guys. Looking a bit further down the field, who have we got kind of going for it? James Cruz on his outlap. There's the AlphaTauri, once again a Honda-powered car, sounding epic, as Cian Goat gets ready to go for a lap. No, he doesn't. He's coming in the pits. There's a bit of a cluster here at turn 10. 4 cars in one. The Haas looks to be having a little ding-dong with his team. Is this a race or is it qualifying? We don't know just yet. What we do know is riding on board with False Equation though, breaking down to turn 1. Here he goes, absolute biggest balls into turn 1. 2017 it was 5th gear with the high downforce cars. Back here now with a little bit lower downforce cars, it's 4th gear. Down to turn 3 though, breaking into 2nd gear. There he goes, try not to snag a brake, try not to snag the car to get it rotated. Perfect rotation, however, though, at turn 4. Turn 6 now, it's all about not hitting that inside curb, not taking too much of the exit curb, however. Braking now down to turn 7, exited turn 7, turn 7, now into turn 8, sets a purple middle sector. Here he goes. What can the young Aussie do? Inside of turn 9 now, hooking it up, not getting too much on the curb there. That was perfect. And I believe False Equation is using a G29, which is a really great beginner's steering wheel. If you're using the pad, if you're using a steering wheel, hell, if you're using a keyboard, all up to you. Thank you for coming and racing. That's all we're happy about. Reedy off to the right there. False Equation getting it all right. I think that's an invalidated lap though. That is an invalidated lap, as False Equation messed it up at turn 13. Reedy getting ready to go for a lap. The Black Arrow here, what used to be the Silver Arrows, but now supporting the Racism Act all around the world. Formula 1 accepting of everyone, as well as Race Spec Formula 1 Esports as the Mercedes comes into the pit lane. We are very, very supporting of anyone who wants to come and race. If you want to sign up, link is in the description. Come in as a reserve, come in as a commentator as myself. Do whatever you like. We're very supporting. Great community that we have around here. El Tonki in P3 now, doing a great job in that Merc. A lot of drivers setting laps here now. 3 laps, Sugar Freaks onto those softs. They will be screaming to get off that Ferrari. They will not want to be on there for anything longer. 5 minutes now, and I'm going to let you guys once again enjoy the sound of this Ferrari. So jumping back on board with Big Match Johnny, who I believe is having a good go of the throttle there. False Equation, however, he's come out on the medium tyres. Here we go. Some good strategy going ahead now. On those medium tyres, is he going to be able to beat that 121.7? Or is he just going out for a bit of a ping, seeing what he can do? Seeing on how he could go. The young Aussie trying to impress, I think that's the name of the game here. On those mediums, getting them up to temperature, getting just the car up to temperature generally. Just getting it ready to go, roaring to go. Mortney's come out for his out lap. This is where things start to get serious in Tier 5. False Equation in the pits, mate. What is going on now? He's come into the pits. He's going to get those mediums off. See now if he can jump onto a set of softs like Mortney does. Let's ride on board with the current pole sitter, seeing if he can extend that lap right now. Everyone's coming out now to try and push, get that lap in, get that hype in. Here we go. Final 2 minutes and 45 seconds of qualifying remaining to show on what the drivers can do, what the boys and girls and anyone can do here at Race Spec Formula 1 Esports. Morty on his out lap. He's invalidated his initial lap. False Equation still in those pits, however. Here we go for a lap with Mr. Mortney, that beautiful blue and red helmet coming out, down to turn 1. Here we go, 4th gear, really opening the car up now, braking heavily into the braking zone. Beautiful apex, great exit. Hopefully he hasn't validated there. Opening that DRS, I feel like he'll be down. His steering wheel's not telling me everything. He's run to 2.6 laps of fuel remaining in max mode. These cars are going to burn through fuel. Oh, getting it all over the place, and he spins. He spins on the grass, and that is Mortney's lap all over. So the top two. Oh, will False Equation be able to get out just in time? This is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Mortney's not maybe going to be able to get another run if he has enough fuel. But this is going to be close. This is going to be interesting. We have El Tonki parked it. Parked it. Is interesting. Is interesting. Webby goes to P3. There you go, mate. Get that Alpha up there. That Alpha Tauri, I should say. Formula SKA goes into P5. Drivers moving up in the world. Here we go. A minute 10 to get round. Will he get round? This is the question that everyone now must ask. Will False Equation get to the end of the lap? It's the question. Or will he invalidate his lap, pushing too hard? Anyway, let's jump on board with him. That is definitely the wrong button. Oh, the Mercedes is in the wall. I believe that's of El Tonki. No, it's not. We're going to go back to False Equation. James Cruz currently on pole with a 121.4. How did we miss that? WH Hundhins on second position, 121.6. DBT now on pole with a 121.3. It's all up to False Equation now to take it out. Here we go, jumping on board. Let's go. Down to turn 1, braking heavily. Apex is beautiful. Exit, fabulous. Open that DRS now. Coming down to turn 3. Let's see what he can do. Braking heavily down now to second gear. Hits that apex phenomenally. On the exit now, coming into turn 4. Beautiful. Those push rod suspensions really taking care of these immense loads that these Pirelli tyres go through. Yellow flags coming up to turn 6. Is there going to be a bit of Nico Rosberg tomfoolery? Mortney's playing the good game of letting him through, letting him go, pushing really hard now. A bit of a distraction for the driver though. Breaking down now to turn 9, third gear, hit that apex, not too much curb or else you might spin, and he has done so. I've commentator cursed him. He's spun, lit up those rear tyres. It's all over for the young Aussie here in P5. No more Mortney in P4, WA Hundhins in P3. James Cruz parking it maybe. I think he might have an issue. No, just maybe locked up. P2, DBT, AU in pole position. Can any of these guys up ahead? This will be now the end of qualifying. Still pushing. Cian Goat trying to get that Red Bull out of 17th. Beat a 124. Is he gone faster? Has he gone faster? The Delta hasn't told me yet, but the Haas is spun and so is him. That's both the Haas and him in the wall. They've both retired out of the session. A lot of cars trying to push it to the absolute maximum as drivers start to come into the pit lane now. And that is your qualifying for the Melbourne Grand Prix for Tier 5 Season 3. So the end of qualifying there. What an awesome qualifying session. So many drivers pushing so hard. So many drivers really trying to get the limit, as it's a bit of a car park right now. But on the front row, we have Mr. DBTAU, James Cruz following him up. El Tonki in P3. What can the Merc do from third position on that row? WA Hudhins in P4 in that AlphaTauri. The Racing Point of Mortney 5 spinning it up, getting those rear tyres all up to temperature in P5 there. Mate, let's see what these drivers can do. I believe after him in P6 is False Equation. Yeah, there it is. Webby in P7, P8 by Formula SK8. Big Match Johnny in P9. The Williams in P10, P11 goes to Sugar Freaks in the Ferrari, P12 McLaren of CB Racing Chris, Ken Tama in the other McLaren. It's a 12-13 for the McLaren, 14th and 15th, followed by the Mercedes of Reedy and the mashed potato in P15. That's a tongue twister. P16, 17, 18, 19. Occupied by the two Red Bulls, one Williams or one Haas, and rounding out the grid is D-Bros with no time after a crash at the exit of turn 12 in P20. So as we get ready to go to the grid here at Racing Spec Formula 1 Esports, as we get ready to go for 5 red lights here at Melbourne. So the type of things that the drivers will be thinking here on the grid is, what's the optimal strategy? What tyre should I be going with? How much fuel should I be popping in the car? Do I need to adjust the front wing a little? Do I need to take some drag off to try to increase that performance over a stat? And try to get kind of the optimal strategy as we go to the formation lap now. Force India taking us off there. A lot of drivers eager to get going, as we all get ready to go. Top 10, of course, starting on the tyres that they qualified on. Most of them will be on the softs. All of them are actually on the softs. P11 and 12 on the softs. P13 on the hards, going long into this distance. Reedy on the softs himself. the mashed potato on the medium compound of tyres as everyone's getting a bit slowed up. Softs for the Red Bull, hards for the Williams, mediums for the other Red Bull. Softs for the Haas, and D-Bro starting on the softs. Drivers taking the optimum strategy here as green flags are being raised ahead of the 2020 PS4 Pacific Series T5 Season 3 Round 1 Australian Grand Prix. So as the drivers get ready to go racing here around on the formation lap, it's all about getting those brakes up to temperature. These huge brakes, about 250 millimeters wide and about 20 millimeters thick. These huge brakes slow these cars from accelerating to about 315 kilometers here in Melbourne, right down to the optimal apex speed. As DBTAU gets set up in that racing point, get that optimal clutch balance, get that optimal revs, gets ready to go racing, pop the car down into lean revs, pop that car into the optimal strategy for that awesome takeoff. Formula 1 cars pull about 1.5 G to 2 G in acceleration off the line. Prediction pit stop strategy is the softs to the hards, or the softs to the mediums. Thank you to AWS who has brought that optimal tyre strategy to us. As we get ready for 5 red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. DBWT AU's getting a great start. No, he doesn't. El Tonki takes him away as he falls behind. Everyone kind of pushing in. Turn 1. As I think my timing's messed up a bit. I think El Tonki's jumped, BWTAU jumped the start. There's a lot of ghosting going on. Not sure what that's about. There's blue flags being waved. Really not sure what that's about. Drivers side by side. Not necessarily knowing what's going on. A lot of cars ghosting for some reason. Blue flags I'm getting here on the screen. Cars pushing throughout all of the timing sensors. The Ferrari goes wide at turn 6, having a little bit of an issue there. Not really sure what's going on. Front wings all over the place. This is one messy start. Blue flags being waved for some reason by race control. Looks like the Williams of Mortney getting under attack. Front wing damage for the drivers there. It's a huge cluster. Looks like everyone's involved. False equations involved. Formula SK8's involved. Looks like this is going to be a monumental overtake into turn 11. Williams coming through. That was an awesome overtake. The racing point getting all over the place as cars going side by side through really high speed corners. That's awesome. This is the stuff that you don't see in real life Formula 1 races. Cars 3 wide into turn 14, now 2 wide. Here we go. This is racing, baby. Turn 15 coming up to the apex. Cars pinballing off one another. Damage all over the place. Looks like a car park down there as the cars being able to hang on to it. Wow, the racing point is in the wall. Racing point in the wall. That is a yellow flag. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a virtual safety car or a full safety car. Seems to keep that engine running and keeps that car underway. That helmet inspired by the Dutch flag, I believe. As Mortney comes through turn 5. Look at the amount of damage and downforce. Wouldn't be surprised if he's got a slow leak puncture on that front left. He's all over the road. That's awful. Down into turn 3, however, the Ferrari's getting it done. Of D-Bros, 5 positions he's made up. Pit stop for the Red Bull as everyone's kind of pushing as quickly as possible, moving up the field. Looks like there's more front wings off as there's a car in the wall. A lot of drivers all over the place. That is the Ferrari of Mr. Sugar Freaks, who's now letting his teammate through. This is crazy stuff all over the place as his teammate gets through with it sounded like there was a little bit of a bonk on the wall there. No, everything's to be relatively okay. Cars getting through relatively easy as well. As the race starts to clear up, deep goes the AlphaTauri, heating up those brakes way too much. You can see when that car comes around, those glowing brake discs, huge amounts of kinetic energy and force going through these brake discs. Real is a big struggle to keep these brakes under temperature. Keeping these brakes in the optimal tyre strategy, the optimal temperature, as well as there's a yellow flag at the exit of turn 3. There's a huge crash. Cars with missing front end plates. The William, however, doesn't pit, stays out with that broken front wing. There'll be a lot of cars coming into the pits now. That's Sugar Freaks after his damage now coming into the pits. Let's take a look at this pit stop. Getting that front wing change. The pit stop time usually with a front wing change is about 8-9 seconds. 3-second time penalty for the Alfa Romeo. Unsafe release from the Ferrari there as the racing point comes through. Lucky ghosting's on. We would have had a really big problem there. Predicted once again the pit stop strategy powered to us by AWS, helping us out with the tyre strategies there here at Racing Spec Formula 1. Mortney now coming out on those hard tyres. This is going to be very difficult for that driver to get back up there. I reckon he's got the pace, however, as the silver, or should I say black arrows coming through, trying to get past D-Bros here. This is going to be a difficult one. D-Bros is such a quick driver. I've versed him myself. He's really struggling right now. That's actually front wing for the Ferrari, who seems to have damage there. Maybe he's had an issue and fallen down the grid. Let's move back up as there's been actually a lead change. There's damage, looks like there for the AlphaTauri. Is it? No, he seems to have all of his cars in check. However, looks like False Equation's getting the job done, mate. He had a difficult lap 1. Managed to stay in P5 though, but still pushing, and that's the aim of the game. Push, don't overheat though, don't get too stressed under the collar. Even though your heart's beating, you're side by side with someone, it may be for the lead, it may be for 18th place, it may be for last place, but you're still having fun, and that's what we encourage. Great overtaking, great racing here. Start was a little bit dirty, and I think the drivers need to go back and look at that and talk to one another about their opinions, what was going on. 3-second time penalty for False Equation after exceeding track limits. As side by side into turn 14, the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri goes. This Mercedes wide, here comes. However, False Equation gonna get it up the inside. Beautiful overtake. Side by side now with the Mercedes into turn 15. Gets that power delivered beautifully by that Renault E-Spec engine. DBT setting the fastest lap of a 125.3 there on the soft compound tyres. All about tyre management now, as the Williams is going to go down the inside and get the job done though. Flag, it's sector 1. There must be an incident somewhere on the track there. I'll see if I can flick around to see what's happened there. Looks relatively okay as the cars are just kind of settling into a rhythm now. Is the aim of the game, to settle into that rhythm, to get into that rhyme. It's time for Formula 1, baby. But here we go. Cars just, yeah, get into that rhythm, get into that feeling, as that Alfa Romeo is definitely, that AlphaTauri is definitely not getting into the feeling there of losing his side end plate there. That's not going to help the downforce of the car whatsoever. However, the two Alfa Romeos are doing very, very well in P8 and P16, doing well for the drivers there. As it's a bit of a train from P3 all the way down to P8. Drivers are just kind of, once again, move into that rhythm, get into that rhyme, and see what you can do once you start to push. Sector flags and yellow flags in Sector 3, however, looks like there might have been a bit of a mistake for someone there. False equation setting the lead of this train right now. However, we're going to need to see the gap to the leader. That's 10 seconds. That's half a pit stop now. Yellow flags once again. James Cruz is in the pit lane on lap 7. That's going to be a pit stop onto the hard compounded tyres. He's going to more than likely take that to the end. Let's see on what the Renault driver can do now. That's false equation now moving up to P2. Anyone else made a pit stop within the top 10? Not just yet. Everyone seems to be settling into that rhythm, getting into that Grand Prix feel. James Cruz comes out in P8. Beautiful. Beautiful pit strategy there to come out in P8. Only just over 8 seconds to the car in front of him. 20 seconds to the leader. Let's see if he can extend that and see if he can be able to close down the leader on those fresh hard tyres. They're going to perform a lot better than a worn set of the softs. And we'll see if he can start to push. But riding on board now with false equation, we'll see what this train can deliver. Jumping back in the comms box now. Seeing that cars are starting to push. That's Mortney now out of the session. We'll see what's happened there. He's in the wall. Mortney's in the wall. It's a safety car. Safety car is now out. The full course safety car has now come out. This is going to really open up strategies. Let's see what our leader will come and do. It's going to be a no-brainer to jump in for the pits. The safety car will be out for an extended period of time here. Drive-through penalty speeding up to the safety car for Cornwell, which will be a bit of a tongue biter there. The Red Bull's in the pit lane. Everyone's going to be jumping in the pit lane, I'm going to imagine. Let's see on what the Racing Point is going to deliver. Front wing change there for the Red Bull driver on the right hand side. The Racing Point do a great pit stop jumping in. Here comes the Renault onto the hards as well. Everyone in the pit lane now. Everyone getting their ideal strategy in onto the hards. Goes the AlphaTauri. Cars jumping people left and right. The full course safety car is really going to help out a lot of drivers here. D-Bros, however, stays out. Stays out. This strategy's worked out absolutely perfect for James Cruz, who pit on lap 7 to now come out in the lead. His tyres are barely going to be soft there. A lot of drivers, I think, starting to play a little bit of a Azerbaijan I think it was 2017 game where Lewis Hamilton brake checked Sebastian Vettel, I think that was. So maybe a couple of drivers maybe doing that, seeing if they can get other drivers hot under the collar. Of course, that's not condoned. So please try not to do that. However, drivers are going to be trying to get under the skin of some other drivers. Bit of controversy going to be going through each driver's head, I think. So that'll be very, very interesting to see once this safety car releases the field. So I think my internet's just crashed. I believe so. Yeah, I think my internet's just crashed, which is not great. Just bear with us. I'm sorry to say this, but unfortunately, I think I've lagged out, which is interesting. And unfortunately, I don't have another invite to the stream. Sorry, to the race. So this will be the end of the stream. Which is not great, so apologize for that. But if other people are streaming, I'll sure to drop a link.